Or what my... Does anybody else hate when they curl their eyelashes and then they put on mascara and then their freaking eyelashes go straight? I cannot stand that. I'm like, what was the point? I think it's because I'm using a cheap ass mascara from Ross. I'm gonna choose to blame the mascara rather than user error than a skill issue. You know what I mean? When I was younger, right? When I was like probably like 13 or 14, I would always steal from my older sister. I remember one time I stole Cheetos out of her backpack and I ate the whole bag. And I remember she never confronted me about it, surprisingly, because my sister is confrontational. She never confronted me about it. She let it slide. But there were other times where she did not let it slide. She would get very mad at me. You would always fight. Yeah, I remember one of the times that I stole from her. I stole a ring from her. I remember seeing it and I was like, well, she doesn't like wear it. Box. And I was like, well, she doesn't wear it, so I'm just gonna take it. So I put it on and I wore it every day for years until one day I literally wore it all the time. Like, I did not take it off. I would wear it in the shower, in the pool, everywhere. And it was like a little silver ring. I wore it all the time. And it was funny because one day, you know, I have a younger sister as well. And I remember one time I just see her walking around wearing one of my rings. And I'm like, wait a minute, young lady, come here. And she's like, what? And I'm like, that's my ring. And she's like, I don't see your name on it. Yeah, anyway, whatever. I let it slide too, just like my older sister. I don't even know if she noticed, honestly, that I had the ring. I think I just, maybe she let that slide too. I don't know. But she was busy. She was going back and forth. Like, she probably had more on her mind than a stupid little silver ring that I found at the bottom of her jewelry box, you know? But it was funny because my sister, I remember I confronted my younger sister about stealing my ring, and I was like, that's my ring. And she was like, well, it's mine now. I've been wearing it. And I'm like, whatever. And I felt like, you know, but at the same time, I was like kind of touched in a way. I was like, oh, she wants to be me so bad. No, I was like, she literally is obsessed with me now. I was like, I don't know. It's just sweet. Like, luckily at that point, I was like old enough that I was like, she just wants to be close to me and be like me because I'm so cool. And that's exactly how I felt about my older sister too. So I was like, obviously I'm gonna take her shit because she has cool shit. It's interesting, you know, the bond that you have with your siblings. And it's also interesting that, you know, we have different memories from childhood. We have different versions of how things went down, like stuff that we all experienced together. We have different, like, memories and recollections of how that all happened. You know, it's just so cool and weird sometimes. Because sometimes I'm like, oh, that's not how that happened. That's not how it happened. You're a little liar. And they're like, no. And like two of them will gang up on me and be like, no, this is exactly how it happened. I'm like, oh, well, totally different like perspective for me. And yeah, it's pretty cool. Jewelry for me is something that, I don't know, I feel very connected with the jewelry that I have. There are certain jewelry pieces that I'm like extremely connected to and that I value a lot. Sister stuff, you know, it's interesting to me. If you have sisters, then you understand. You know, I'm getting up there in age, guys, I'm getting old. It's kind of scary because in our world, you know, women when they turn 30, you know, you're old. I hear it all the time, you know, like 30 to me when I was like 20, I was like 30. Oh my god. Like that's when my grays are gonna come in. Like I'm gonna be old as fuck. I literally thought I was gonna have kids by the time I was 25. Actually, scratch that. When I was in the church that I grew up in, it was very normalized to get married at like 19, 20 and have kids like basically immediately after that. Like immediately. It's normal. I was like, well, obviously I'm going to get married at like 19, 20 and then I'm going to have like 5 kids. My 29th birthday was a couple days ago, and I'm like, wow, my life looks totally different than how I thought it would. Like completely different. I just think about all my relationships where I'm like, I'm gonna marry this person, but that's not what happened. Like sometimes I look back on things I've done and I'm like, I want to like take myself into my own arms and smash myself. Like I want to destroy. I'd have to live with the consequences forever. I feel like my leg is going numb. Yesterday I got these. I don't know if you guys can see. Don't get them. Don't get them. Do you understand? Do not purchase these chips. Do not get them. You will regret it. As you can see or hear, the bag is empty. I ate them all. I'm trying to help you, okay? I'm trying to help you. Do not buy them because they're good. They're good. At first I was like, I'm kind of a purist when it comes to Takis, okay? I like the original Takis. If you know, you know. I like the original ones. They're delicious. They're horrible for you. They're horrible. They have enough red dye 40 in them to kill a Victorian child. But they're so good. They're delicious. I love them. Sometimes I just have to eat chips. Sometimes I just have to eat chips. That's the truth. Oh, there he goes. There he is. He's so cute. But yeah. Oh, you know what's funny is that this actually doesn't have any red 40 in it. No red 40 in it. I literally lied on their name. What is this? Like, what is this? Artificial flavored habanero and cucumber artificial flavored tortilla chips. Okay, here's the thing. It says extreme. It says extreme. I don't think, honestly, I don't feel like they're hotter than regular Takis. For me, when I eat Takis, I definitely have to have a water, a soda. It's good. Honestly, don't buy them though. Like, don't. Do not. Don't. Because I said so. Because I said so. Because I said if I just use like shampoo, my hair looks like this. Like no products or anything. Sometimes I just cannot be bothered. I just cannot be fucking bothered. Yeah, like it's just kind of like frizzy. It just looks dirty. Like break that shit. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do. Like no matter what conditioner or shampoo I use, I just feel like my hair just looks bad. So my plan is to I have no plan. Does anybody else feel completely lost? You know what's weird is that, well, it's not weird. I feel like it makes sense, but whenever I am on camera, I feel anxious to draw. I feel like people are watching me. I was like this in school too. Like whenever the teacher would walk by down at your work, I would always feel so self-conscious. And I'm sure everybody felt that way. Like you feel like your teacher is judging you for what you know or what you don't know. I feel like for me, even though I hated going to school, I felt like it was an escape from how I felt at home in some ways. If I had to use one word to describe what it felt like growing up in my house, I would say chaotic. First of all, I do have my fan on. You can probably hear it in the background. Just want to address that up front. I will be having my fan on. Yeah. I have my colored pencils. Ooh, ASMR? Is that ASMR? It's just so hot. What happened to fall? Guys, what happened to fall? Why are we... Yeah, I made the sketchbook. Ooh, wow, very nice. Characters like this. One thing that I really want to get better at is drawing something other than people. Because I tend to often draw people, and I really want to get better at drawing something else. This one, more people. This one has an alligator. It's supposed to be an alligator. This one says, I'm in trouble. And why did God forget about me? These are questions that sometimes you have to ask yourself. Now, something that I've been thinking about a lot lately is what it means to me to be a good friend. Like as a teenager, right, my idea of friendship was always be there for them and, you know, look out for them, text them, stuff like that, you know, in high school it feels like the world revolves around you. My problems in high school seemed so big. Like I was stressed out over shit that now looking back, I'm like, I would love to have that problem. I wish that was the extent of my problem. You know, I wish that a boy not texting me back was my biggest issue right now. And as an adult though, you know, my priorities, why did I say it like that? My priorities have changed, you know, quite drastically, I would say.